This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Blame it on the Thursday night football game. The only thing worse than watching that game was watching more of it. Russell Wilson, I'm worried. Matt Ryan, I'm worried. There wasn't much to take positive out of that game. Alec Pierce is a player. You know, he's worth a pickup. You can still grab him, but no touchdowns in that game, even though they went to overtime. It was a hard watch, and every Seattle game has been a hard watch.
Yeah, no, you were already worried about Matt Ryan. I mean, the Heat looks old. You know what I mean? You have your speaker on. You may have to have your speaker off because it's giving a little feedback.
I apologize. I'll have a better setup next week. I apologize to everybody.
You're good. The worst part about last night was that we've got Commanders and Bears to look forward to, Saints and Cardinals, Eagles and Texans, and Falcons and Panthers, all on Thursday night. Entertainment at its finest.
Plus, I think Seattle's playing next Monday, too.
Yes.
I'm trying to unsubscribe from the Seahawks season ticket that I apparently subscribed to. I don't know how I got into this, but how do you get me out of it?
I don't know, my brother, but I got to say, fantasy pieces on those teams, not looking good. Even Jonathan Taylor, who was money, has not been money this year for owners.
No, even when Taylor comes back, he wouldn't be the first overall pick right now. I think Kupp or Barkley would probably be the guys you'd be thinking about. And for Denver, I mean, Cortland Sutton's startable for sure. And Melvin Gordon's getting a lot of touches. He didn't do much until very late in that game. But, yeah, I should put my headphones on. That's a good idea.
Yeah, the headphones will be – the headphones will kind of
the cans, as they say, right?
Yeah, hopefully it'll limit it. If you put the headphones on, then, that will take away the feedback there. Yeah, so the future is not good, right now. I mean, the way Russell looked, I mean, some people – listen, I thought he was going to have to play a lot of hero ball on that team, but I've actually been wrong about that because the defense has been better than I expected, and then the offense has been much worse than I expected, actually. And, hell, yesterday, I don't know if Nathaniel Hackett was looking around going, am I absolved of the 64-yard field goal now, you know? I mean,
I would not be shocked if he was a one and done head coach. He looks like he might be in over his head too. Yeah, he definitely looks very, very Camrish is the way that I would look at. Yeah, flash from the past.
Yes, exactly. Let's see, AJ Dillon, Bryce Hall, or Singletary PPR. Let's get it going. Bring them in.
Let's do it. All good options. I would play A.J. Dillon first just because anytime you could ride with a 9 or 10-point favorite, we like that. And Green Bay has narrowed down. We weren't worried with their offense. We were worried about their offense, the shape of it, but it's a core 4 for them. It's Dillon. It's Dobbs, who's popped. It's Lazard. And it's obviously Aaron Jones. Those are the 4 guys who touch the ball. So Dillon already has 15 touches, I think, this week in his back pocket in a game that the Packers will salt away on the ground.
Amari Cooper or Gabe Davis?
I think, until we know Gabe Davis is healthy, the thing with Davis is when he's like a sports car that when there's a little bit of tinkering that needs to be done, you just keep him in the shop. He doesn't do anything. And right now that ankle doesn't look right. I realize Cooper's had 2 good games and 2 absolutely invisible games. A lot of that's on Brissett, but I have to go with Cooper until I know Davis is 100%.
Let's see. Just dropped Edmonds and picked up Mostert. I care more about the Finns doing well than fantasy, but can the Finns get the running game going? Although he's kind of been popping lately, so I don't know. But how do you look at it from an outsider's point of view? Because we talk about this every year leading up to the draft, that any city you're in where you're doing a draft, there's going to be a bias in that city for your local team. This is a biased type of question for you.
Yeah, I mean, they gave the bigger money to Edmonds, which I thought made him the pick before the season. And Mostert's, older. He's had more, just kind of bounced around the league more. But he's a good player. I just don't know that either one of these guys is ideally like a 18 to 20 touch guy a week. So if you start them, you're hoping they touch it 11 to 15 times, knowing that it could be 7 or 8. The bread is buttered in the passing game here. We know that. And I heard that really touching, poignant segment you had on Gesicki before I came on. I mean, obviously he's not an ideal fit here, but he's still a good soldier. He's going out and he's doing his thing. And I always root for Mike Gesicki too. Just a good guy. I liked him at Penn State as well. But if you're playing a Miami running back, it's not that they're not talented, but they don't have a great running game right now, and they don't throw a lot of volume at it. So you have to hope that maybe they're a top 30 running back this week. I think you have to lower the expectations.
Start or sit Waddle this week?
No, I would have to have a really stacked team to not be playing Jalen Waddle.
Right. Oh, okay. So, right. Exactly. Yes.
And look, Teddy Bridgewater is a really good backup, and he might be better. You know, the joke's on Carolina. They probably were better off with Teddy Bridgewater. Baker Mayfield has driven that offense into a ditch. He's making DJ Moore unstartable. For example, if I had Waddle and DJ Moore on a team, I would play Waddle every week, and I'd be like, how do I get out of the DJ Moore business? Please, can you post one good game so I can trade you? I don't blame that on DJ Moore. Just like I don't blame it on Kyle Pitts, right? I mean, he's got Mariota's not playing well, and Arthur Smith doesn't want to throw the ball. And he certainly doesn't want to throw it to Pitts. I still think Pitts is a special talent, but you need people around you who elevate you. Right now, DJ Moore doesn't have it. Waddle did it last year. He'll do it with Teddy. He'll do it with Tua. He's just – I talk about the term inelastic for players. Chris Olave's like that, right? Chris Olave was great with Winston. Then Dalton played, and he was great with Dalton. And if they played somebody else, if Taysom Hill had to play quarterback, if Archie Manning came back, he'd be great with those guys. Chris Olave just can't be stopped. And I think Waddle's one of those guys.
Drop Allen Robinson for Corey Davis. I understand that because this week the Dolphins are going to be without X. They're without Byron Jones and Keon Crossan. So they're going to have a whole bunch of young guys back there along with Nick Needham. So, and Allen Robinson hasn't been anything. That's an interesting question. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I would wait 1 week only because I think there's more theoretical upside for Robinson. And because Davis has been a free agent in your league this long, that makes me think he'd probably be waiting for you next week if you want him. Because think of the guys he's behind, right? He's behind Garrett Wilson. He's behind Elijah Moore. They have two running backs who play, and Brees Hall has started to spread his wings a little bit in the second half. And we don't even know really what Zach Wilson is. Not that anybody wanted to see more of Joe Flacco, but a lot of Flacco's production was through volume. He had the most pass attempts through 3 games in any NFL season. So Davis is a nice player. I actually think he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL, and he'd be a great trade target for a contending team that needs a receiver. I know the NFL isn't big on trades, and a lot of times receivers change teams and they don't do much right away, but I'm a Corey Davis fan. I just got to think that I got to give the Rams. I know the Rams look broken right now, and I said on Twitter, Matthew Stafford doesn't believe in 3 things right now: his offensive line, his secondary receivers, and his body. He doesn't trust any of those things, and that kills Allen Robinson. But I'm going to give him 1 more week because his upside, if he popped, would be more than what Corey Davis could do with the Jets.
Eric is asking, pick 2 in a PPR: Miles Sanders, Chris Godwin, or T. Higgins.
I'd say Godwin. They're all good options. The thing with Sanders is we like to reduce backfields down to 2 pieces, and the Philly backfield is basically the running quarterback and Hurts and Sanders. The other guys, Gainwell and Scott, aren't playing that much, so that keeps him in my lineup. But all 3 of those options were good. That's a really nice question to have.
A.J. Dillon, Bryce Hall, or Singletary in a PPR?
I would play Dillon, but I will say the Singletary the last 2 weeks is getting touches. He's in the RB2 conversation now. Again, can we reduce the backfield? They're not playing James Cook much. They're not playing Zach Moss much. They do, again, very much like Philadelphia. The goal line back is basically the quarterback. It's Josh Allen. But Singletary is getting involved in the passing game as well. He's a startable guy. He wasn't the best of the options there. I think Dillon was, but a lot of teams, I think, with injuries kicking in and just a lot of offenses in ditches right now, Singletary is a very playable RB2 for me.
Okay. Start Everett or Schultz?
Everett's in my lineup until he does something wrong. I'd play Everett over Pitts right now. I mean, he's a top 7, top 8 tight end. I know Justin Herbert got hurt a few weeks ago. He looked great last week. Cleveland's not an easy matchup this week, but Everett's in their circle of trust. He's a tight end who's getting 6 to 8 targets every week and some goal line equity. And how many guys? We could say about, 5 or 6 guys maybe? Yeah. He's in my top 10. I'm not even thinking about it.
Let's see. Flex spot: Khalil Herbert, David Njoku, or Adam Thielen?
Yeah, the running back can get the easier touches, assuming Montgomery doesn't play, which it sure seems like he's not going to. You want to check that on the weekend. But the Bears' offenses, I've ranked all the offenses for fantasy purposes. I do that quarterly. I had Chicago dead last. I had them 32nd. Big O, if I could have put a couple CFL teams and a couple college teams ahead of the Bears, I would have done it. They're awful. But they'll run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. And so Herbert, if he starts, which I think he will, probably 20 touches in his back pocket.
Just got something in the mail.
Can't see what that is.
It's a Tua Tagovailoa
okay.
card.
Nice.
A 10 too, baby. 10.
Nice. Get back healthy. We need you, man. Take a few weeks off. Teddy's got this.
I made a purchase. I had to because I'm a believer. Yeah, baby. Little rookie card. So I had to have a rookie card. A Panini 2020 Panini instant rookie card. Yeah. The gem.
Is there a Big O rookie card?
Yes, there is. Did you know? You didn't know that?
No, I've been searching on eBay and Amazon all week. I can't find one.
There is one. There. I'm not kidding.
Okay, there should be. I'm not kidding either. There should be one.
There is a rookie card. You got to go to Topps.
Okay.
89 All-Star game in Miami. It's a Charles. Is it Charles Barkley or David Robinson? Which one is it, Sean? You probably have the damn thing stock already.
I don't have it. It's David Robinson and forget who's jumping up and Barkley. Yeah.
So it's a picture of Robinson jumping in Barkley, and I'm there in the stands.
Oh, outstanding!
Clearly, me and the wife are there, and so that's. I actually have a rookie.
So
card.
three Hall of Famers, three Hall of Famers.
You were joking, but see, yeah, exactly, 3 Hall of Famers. Yes, Barkley, Robinson, and the Big O. Yes, the wrong Big O, but yes, the that's it right there. All right, let's see. Let's move on. Robinson or Zeke Elliott? Wow, Zeke Elliott's really fallen off.
You know, I don't trust what James Robinson is doing. A great comeback story. Achilles is usually a kill shot for running backs. It seems like it's submarine Cam Akers and so many other backs.
Like you're expecting him to repop because he's wearing it out so quickly.
Right. It's funny. The thing with Robinson, though, I want you to trade him high, but after he plays Houston this week, touchdown favorite, he's going to get a lot of work. I think he has a big game here, but it's misleading, and you try to trade Robinson at a high point next week. At least with Zeke, everybody knows Tony Pollard's more talented now. He's younger, he's fresher, but the Cowboys are going to play to the contract. It's just the way it is. Play Robinson this week aggressively, and then try to trade him next week.
All right. Who should I start? Naji, Brees Hall, or Mike Thomas if healthy?
I need a show me game from Thomas before he enters that conversation. I'm going to go to Hall only because I'm worried that Pittsburgh-Buffalo game gets out of hand. And Harris looks like just a guy right now to me. I think he's a very ordinary talent where I actually can see special qualities with Hall. Now, Miami they do focus on stopping the run. They've been weaker against the pass, so I would think Hall's already get an X on his back, but he'd be the guy I'd play in that 3. And Mike Thomas, until he plays a football game and shows me something, I'm not going to start him anywhere.
Okay. Chris Godwin, DJ Moore, or Curtis Samuel, pick 2.
I'm going to sit Moore. Samuel leads that team in targets. And I expect Tampa Bay. Brady's been known for his ability to come back after losses. Now they're coming back after 2 losses. But now they welcome in the Falcons. This just says Tom Brady throws 4 touchdown passes written all over it. I got to play Godwin. And Samuel, again, he's getting the most targets there, and Dotson probably won't play. So we talk about when offenses get reduced by a player, it makes it easier to trust everybody else. I think Samuel could easily be a top 15 receiver this week.
All right. Somebody says pick 1 in a flex, Mackenzie, Everett, or Schultz.
Mackenzie's a good pickup. I'm glad you added him. Crowder got a major injury last week. Mackenzie's a little bit dinged up himself, but I talked about Everett being the circle of trust. I'd certainly start him with Schultz in a tight end league, but in this flex question, I think Everett's your guy.
Connor or Rashad Penny?
You can't sit Penny after last week. I know the Saints' defense is pretty good, but Penny's he's like Nick Chubb, right? I mean, he always gets 5 yards a carry. He doesn't always get a ton of work. They don't always throw the ball to him. He's not as good as Nick Chubb, but he's the poor man's Nick Chubb. Rashad Penny should be in your lineup. And Geno Smith's been a lot for all these offenses, right?
No, right?
Mayfield's killing us. Russell Wilson's killing us. Matt Ryan's killing us. You know who's not killing us? Geno Smith. Geno Smith is helping us.
I know. Geno Smith has become a fantasy stud, which is
Seattle's winning the breakup because they got Geno Smith. They got rid of Wilson. Denver, not that Wilson's like absolutely horrible, but he's not anywhere near what we expected. He's not playing up to the contract they just gave him. Seattle's got Geno Smith paying him peanuts, and he's been good.
Yeah, he has been good. Hell, personally for me, let me speak for myself. When you sign Geno Smith, I'm like, okay, Seattle's tanking. I get what they're trying to do. And he's actually overplaying the tanking right now, which is just absolutely nuts. Freiermuth or Hawkinson?
you get after last week. You got to play Hawkinson, and I'm just worried that I'm glad Pittsburgh is making the quarterback change, but it's actually in the teeth of their schedule. They have nasty matchups for the next 5 weeks. I'm gonna get Tampa Bay next week, Buffalo at the worst possible time. So who knows what Pickett's ready to do? And Hawkinson was great last week, and Detroit's probably going to be missing some personnel. I know tight end's not a consistent position, and neither one of these guys will be consistent, but Hawkinson, was the leading fantasy scorer last week, not the leading tight end. He outscored the whole field. I can't sit a guy after a game like that. I know we don't want to chase points and everything like that, but as a performance that significant, I got to keep him in the lineup.
All right, J.K. Dobbins or Khalil Herbert?
I'm going to lean to Dobbins only because I just think that team is going to score touchdowns. The Bears may not. Herbert's going to get more touches. I was encouraged. We think of the Ravens generally not throwing to their running backs. I was encouraged that Dobbins got involved in the passing game last week. It was the better part of his game. And they may not have Bateman. Devin Duvernay, by the way, if you're desperate for a receiver, is a nice pickup or somebody I might start this week. But I'm going to go to...
Dude, he's grown as a player. Props to Devin Duvernay.
Every week. He's not getting a lot of work either. He's caught 12 or 13 targets. He's already scored 4 touchdowns, and they need him. He went from a guy we'll use him once in a while, to a guy they actually need.
Team, limited receiver, and he has grown as a receiver.
Like him as a pickup, yeah. But for the question that was asked, I would use Dobbins because Baltimore's going to need Dobbins this week on Sunday night.
Well, they're going to need you on Sunday. What the hell are you doing for them on the Yahoo platform, baby?
That's right. Well, we got Fantasy Football Live as our flagship show at noon. I have a quick video spot at the top of that, and I'll be handling the Yahoo Fantasy account for that final hour, talking about who's in, who's out, who do you start. Later today, I'll be giving out my 5 picks against the spread. We're 15-5, which is pretty darn good. It'll make you a couple of pennies, so hopefully we can keep that going. Oh, there it is. Barkley, Robinson.
Yep.
I know you're there somewhere. I'll have to blow it up later and get it.
Well, he's gonna have. I think he's gonna now blow it up after now. But it's just to the left of his underarm, right there. Yeah, you gotta look, and then it's me and the wife, and we're both in Heat jerseys. You see how he's circling it?
Oh, that's awesome. So, that is outstanding. That's probably why that's a $5,000 card right now, right? If you haven't made condition.
Easily. And one of my best friends actually found it. So he's just perusing. He goes, "Hey, didn't you go to this game?" And I go, "Yeah, man, I had season tickets back in the day." And so he's perusing. He's going, "Dude, you're here." And I'm like, "Get the hell out of here." And he goes, "No, look." And I was like, wow, I never knew. And so there you go.
You know what else is awesome about that card? I think it's the last time anybody played defense in an all-star game. I mean, Barkley's taking it seriously. Right?
Yeah, dude, you see how high he is compared to Robinson? He's 7 inches shorter.
Yeah, usually it's like everybody's a turnstile. Right this way, sir. You here. Go dunk on me. I don't care. But
and it shows you what kind of a freak Barkley was too.
To lead the league in rebounding, he's 6'4.5", 6'5", or something like that. Yeah, he's could handle the ball, could shoot it. Probably took too many threes, but he was one of my favorite players, and just a guy who's just authentic, one of one. Right? How many people are one of one? Shohei Ohtani is one of one. Charles Barkley Tiger Woods is one of one. Charles Barkley, one of one for sure. Yeah. One of my favorites. Anyway, the picks come out later today. I'll be on the show, Fantasy Football Live on Sunday, and then on the podcast Sunday night with Matt Harmon, where we wrap up everything, try to figure out what we just saw. So I wish everybody good luck in Week 5. I always enjoy these spots, and I got to get myself over to Amazon or eBay and try to win a bidding war.
That's it, baby. That's it. And follow him on Twitter at Scott_Pianowski, and make sure you catch his work there at the Yahoo platform. Scott, as always, appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
It's fun. Peace. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you. You are now done with the Sports Grill Fantasy Football Zone.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.